We really gotta stop meeting like this. We really gotta stop meeting like this. I was already intending on making this video about other news that's going on, but I was hoping to be saying that news while coming off of a Knicks win. It's not what happened. It's not. We lose another game to another playing team. This one's the Heat. If you guys want to know my opinions or how I feel about the Heat and Knicks game, you're going to have to go watch my VOD. We did a watch along for Wednesday Night Knicks where we watched that game. You're going to have to go check that out. I'm not talking about that today. I'm not. What I am going to talk about is some interesting thoughts and rumors going around, because why the hell not talk about rumors right now and avoid talking about us losing back-to-back games to teams we should have won against. The Knicks and trades. Two words that don't normally go well together when it comes to talking about all-star or superstar level players. Knicks and trade. Apparently, Brian Windhorst believes that the Knicks are putting themselves in position to possibly get 2 all-stars without losing Jaylen Brunson or Julius Randle. How true is that? Very convenient when there's a bunch of all-stars who seem like they're ready to be leaving their team. Damian Lillard, Joel Embiid. Let's talk about all of that, man. I'm really curious about this one. I want to take a deep dive on the rumor mill when it comes to this. Let's have some fun with this, especially after that nasty loss yesterday. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K, and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and do not forget to like this video. People. The Knicks lost last night to the Heat. I hate it. But we're going to be playing the Magic tonight. We will be watching that live over on Playback. Link is in the description below. Make sure you join us at Playback. But that's not it. We got a sponsor, y'all. Perfect. Shout out to MyBookie. That's right. MyBookie is sponsoring your boy here, CK2K. Now, as y'all know, the Sweet 16 is about to begin. And you know what? Let's be real. It's time for y'all to shoot your damn shot. And the best way to do so is using MyBookie. Whether you are filling out multiple brackets, betting on the eventual national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Now, getting started with MyBookie is really simple. You visit the website online by hitting that link in the description below, make your first deposit, and then use promo code CK2K to claim an exclusive deposit bonus. Yes, that's right. Whatever you deposit using promo code CK2K on your first deposit gives you some extra cheddar for your bets. With hundreds of thousands in prizes for March Madness and weekly blackjack tournaments, you can turn your game day into payday with MyBookie. Once again, the link is in the description, should be at the very top for you guys. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Shout out to MyBookie. Let's get into this damn video though. Brian Windhorst believes that the Knicks are potentially in a spot to do things that everybody believes that the Knicks are going to do. A little bit earlier than normal, but yes, and that is the Knicks getting superstars. We hear this same song and dance every single year, but should we be taking this one a little bit more serious? If you ask me, I say yes. Before I get into anything Wendy said, we did hear a few days ago Jaylen Brown get asked about a possible contract extension, and he said this: I don't know. As long as I'm needed, it's not up to me. We'll see how they feel about me over time. And I feel about them over time. Hopefully, whatever it is, it makes sense. But I will stay where I'm wanted. I will stay where I'm needed and treated correct. Jaylen Brunson. Wrong Jaylen. Wrong Jaylen. Jaylen Brown also talked about the Celtics fan base, and he openly said that there is a corner of Celtics fans that is a little bit hypercritical when it comes to Jaylen Brown. He says that they typically want him to just play basketball and they don't care about anything outside of that he cares about, and that's something that rubs him the wrong way. A lot like the protesting that you saw him be a part of during the pandemic time. Yeah, I guess a lot of Celtics fans weren't a fan of Jaylen Brown speaking out on that. He also then spoke about the whole trade situation where he was a part of a deal or a part of an offer that included Kevin Durant, and that Brad Stevens and Jason Tatum were both behind the scenes trying to make that work, and he call them on a three-way to see if that was a real thing. So Jaylen Brown is feeling a little underappreciated with the Boston Celtics. So now with that coming out, and then Brian Windhorst saying what he's saying, you know, us Knicks fans are putting the two together, and I can't lie to you, I'm guilty myself. Very guilty myself. Will it happen? Who knows? Could it happen? I think it is a very possible outcome that the Knicks could make an offer for a guy like Jaylen Brown. He has another year left on his contract. That is next year, and the remainder of this year left on his contract. Then he will be an unrestricted free agent if they do not come up with a deal for the two of them. I think that if this relationship isn't mended by this offseason, or hell, even by the trade deadline, I truly believe that the Celtics will ultimately try to move him, because you don't want to lose a guy like him for free, especially if he's the kind of guy that you're offering up to get a guy like KD. Now, mind you, the Knicks would have to give a lot to get a guy like Jaylen Brown, but this is the point that we were talking about in the past when it comes with this team. You know, a lot of people this year have been really frustrated with RJ Barrett, and they're pairing his name next to damn near anybody, Kyle Kuzma, Jay Crowder, pairing his name next to anybody that's not named RJ Barrett because they just want to trade him away. When we already heard that RJ Barrett's name was a part of one deal, being Donovan Mitchell, and that one was an actual trade offer, but the Knicks were turned down because we didn't offer up enough picks. Not because RJ Barrett was a part of it, but because they wanted more picks. And luckily, we did not go forward with that, because it would have been highway robbery to give him up, Grimes, and so on and so forth, plus a bunch of picks to get Donovan Mitchell. Now, if we're talking about Jaylen Brown, it's a different kind of conversation. I'd shovel up a few more picks to get Jaylen Brown. The point I'm trying to make is you don't just trade a player away just because you don't want him away. You make the moves where they make more sense. And I think if you're adding RJ Barrett in any of these moves that include Jalen Brunson, or I'm saying Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown, or you fill in the name, the Damian Lillards, the Joel Embiids, those are the trades that make a lot more sense, because you're getting a lot more for RJ Barrett's potential than just to move him because you are upset that he is not doing what you think he's supposed to be doing in year 4. It's very similar, not the same thing, but it's very similar to like what the Sacramento Kings did. The Sacramento Kings were overloaded at the guard position, and at the time we were all scratching our head when they made a trade where that included Tyrese Halliburton to get All-Star and Domantas Sabonis. But in the end of the day, it worked out for both sides because both teams got rid of a position that they were overloaded in, and both got all-stars out of the deal. We don't know if RJ Barrett is going to be said all-star just yet, but there is the situation there where you might have to unload the younger talent before whatever he potentially turns into to then get that for sure other all-star. Now, mind you, Jaylen Brunson, I'm going to need a count of how many times I called Jaylen Brunson. Jaylen Brown is a young, already bona fide all-star that is still continuing to get better every year. Hell, you could even argue on a lot of nights he's probably the Celtics' best player. I know Jason Tatum is there, but he's had a lot of nights this season where he has been the Celtics' best player, and that's what you want from a 1-2 combo with those two guys. And if he's up for grabs, you send whatever is necessary to get him. If everybody is available, not named Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, it is what it is for a talent like that. That's definitely a piece I'm looking at. Now, the rest is in the air. Again, this is all off he say, she say. This is basically content that we should be talking about in the off season, but it is the focus of conversation now. Other rumors are that the other guys could be names like Karl Anthony Towns or Damian Lillard. Some people are believing that Joel Embiid might ask for out if the 76ers are not able to make an impact in the playoff run this offseason. Blobbity blobbity. There's a lot of names that are going to be out there and going to be centered around the Knicks, but this all is coming up because of an article or because of that soundbite from Brian Windhorst.
In my view, they could trade for 2 star-level players if they needed to. It doesn't mean they'd have to do that deal, those deals in the summer of 23. Those deals could be made within the 23-24 season. They could be made in 24. But they can hold, in my opinion, they can hold Jalen Brunson, they can hold Julius Randle, and they can make 2 giant trades.
And for the record, with all the fun going on, I want to say, if you ask me, I do see what Brian Windhorst is saying, and there might be some truth to it. But personally, I don't see us getting 2 superstars out of this. I can see us making a move for 1 big star to add to what we already have, especially if you're talking about not moving Jalen Brunson or Julius Randle, because we have a lot of assets to be moved, draft picks and stuff like that. But if you're getting especially a guy on Jaylen Brown's level, and I'm using him as the main example because of everything that happened lately, you're going to be giving up a lot to get him. How much are you going to have to do something like that for 2 players? Because we only have so much to give. So if you ask me, I think that if there is a move, and I do believe that there will be another move made for an all-star or even a superstar level player, it's going to be 1. And I don't think it's going to be 2 of them. I love Brian Windhorst's thought process. It'd be great. But we don't have LeBron James on our side that's able to command that kind of a trade or anything like that. So yeah, if you ask me, we might get 1. I think it's very possible. Now, the reason why I'm making a video out of this is because I feel like of all the times in the past when we've heard these rumors about us trading to get this guy or making a move for that guy, this is the first time where it feels like we're actually in the driver's seat for that. This is one of those things I've been saying all year this year. I feel like we're in a year where we should be in talent evaluation, where we should be figuring out who on this team is here long term and who on this team is somebody that possibly could get moved for an upgrade for this team. The Knicks are showing right now that this record isn't a fluke, that this Knicks team is a good team, and the general consensus is to everybody is that we're a superstar away. Yeah, we might have to lose some depth to get a guy like this, but it's not like you're losing depth to get a guy like this and have him be the sole guy. You're pairing him up with 2 other guys where you are potentially still going to keep somebody else, and then you have a little bit of extra funds to sign somebody in the offseason, sign other guys that can line up with this roster. So right now we're in the driver's seat to do a lot more, and it's a way different situation than it has been in the past. Now, I know I primarily talked about Jaylen Brown because to me, he's the one that I have my targets on if there's anybody that we make a move for. But there's a lot of names out there. And again, this is all hearsay and he said, she said kind of vibe. But I thought it would be a lot more fun to talk about this than to talk about another blistering loss, because I'm sure you can search Knicks on YouTube right now and see tons of other channels complaining about that loss. I'd be one of them, but I don't feel like talking about it anymore. I'm ready for the Orlando game tonight. Let's start this dialogue. I'm looking forward to the conversations in the chat. What says you? Do you agree with Brian Windhorst's take about the Knicks being able to get other potential all-stars on this team? Or do you think this is just another opportunity to try and make the Knicks look like one thing, so then when the Knicks don't do it, then we get made fun of again because the Knicks are dumb and they are inadequate and not able to make these kind of moves? Because you know that's what's going to happen the minute we don't do that. We still, to this day, are hearing about Donovan Mitchell. Didn't Richard Jefferson just bring us up out of nowhere when Donovan Mitchell dunked on somebody the other night?
Can we just say we're glad that the Knicks did not get him? Just say that. Could you imagine the Knicks team with him? My God.
So we know about all that stuff, but let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. Let's have some fun with it before we go into tonight's game. It's about to get real stressful as we are on the final few weeks going into the playoffs. Let's have this conversation about this. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Yeah, we're going to be live tonight over on Playback, watching this game live. Make sure you sign up and go over there. And also, MyBookie. Link is in the description below. I'm out of here. See you guys in the next one. Let's get it. Yeah, I would love to have Jaylen Brown on this team. Can you imagine Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle? Like, oof.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new way. I think I like it how it is.